Welcome to my video. Here's how I gained 40 pounds onto my low bar squat while maintaining a safer position. So this is how I used to squat back in the day. This would be called a dive bomb squat, in which there would be little to no tension on the eccentric portion of the squat, aka the starting point to the bottom of the squat. So this style of squatting is actually really common in the sport of Olympic lifting, specifically the high bar squat. There's nothing wrong with the dive bomb squat, especially when high bar squatting. In fact, many Olympic lifters do the dive bomb squat with no problems at all, no knee sleeves, no belt, like Clarence Kennedy, with no issues. In my experience, reps were inconsistent, so training days were inconsistent, and I had a high risk of injury. My back would get injured like every third month. This vicious cycle of inconsistent training days and injuring my lower back has led to a halt in my progress after reaching 500 pounds on squats. So after doing a little research and understanding what a high bar squat is and what a low bar squat is, they are very different. So let's take a look at these two squats. On the left you have the high bar squat, and on the right you have a low bar squat. Comparing these two photos, you can notice that the high bar squat is more upright than the low bar squat. On top of that, both of these squats have the bar aligned with the midfoot, and that's very important because I'm going to show you this. When I started low bar squatting, I thought low bar squat was just having the bar lower on my traps. But in reality, if you take a look at this photo, my hip angle is the exact same as Clarence Kennedy, but just like a high bar squatter. Comparing the bottom of the squat, you can see that it's very similar to Clarence Kennedy in that I am pretty upright even at the bottom of the squat, and that's because I am still using a high bar squat technique despite having the bar set lower on my back. Now let's take a look at the 5-plate squat. I started exactly the same as a high bar squatter, and I even hold position as a high bar squatter at the bottom of my squat. The problem is, coming out of the hole, I was pushing out like a low bar squatter, and that resulted in a pancake position where my hips raise and I finished the lift doing a good morning. The reason you don't want to be in this pancake position is because the bar alignment changes from midfoot to upper top of your foot. And to not lose balance, you're going to fight back into a midfoot position. So let's recap my old squat form. For the first half of the squat, top to bottom, I would have a upright torso high bar like squat. As for bottom up, I would have a pancake like bent over torso form for the rest of the squat, meaning I would have to transition from uprightness to a bent over position, causing instability and a less efficient squat. So to solve the issue of having to realign the bar path with my midfoot, I decided to just start with a bent over torso position. And to do that, you have to lower your squat rack height so you could change the hip angle and to have yourself slightly bent forward so that the bar is aligned with your midfoot throughout the lift. Is once you find your hip angle, is to extend your legs and to leg press yourself out of the squat rack while maintaining that torso angle. It is very crucial to maintain the same torso angle throughout the whole lift. So let's talk about the speed of the squat. From start to depth, I'd recommend going down gradually at a controlled speed. Once you hit depth, you should feel like it's a lot easier to push out of the pocket, and that's one of the benefits of staying tighter in the hole versus a dive bomb squat. It's going to take a while to develop this technique, and some accessory squat movements that I'd recommend would be the pause squat, the tempo squat, and to experiment with different variations to get your glutes and lower back used to that slower and more gradual movement out of the pocket. That's about it. Like the video, subscribe. Peace out.